there's a couple things with this. For one, good God, the Pacers. I knew they were going to be a different team, but you know what? They're missing everybody.
Nemhard's,
They're missing Nemhard. They're missing obviously Halliburton. They're missing who's the other dude? The
Miles Turner's obviously.
Miles Turner obviously got traded, but the little guard,
T.J. McConnell.
T.J. McConnell. All their key guards are out.
Right.
So, I mean, that's a lot. It's one thing for Halliburton to be out. It's another, like, brother, Nemhart is probably their third best player in that team. He's not there. T.J. McConnell is just one of their key core role players. He's not there. So none of their guard plays essentially there.
I don't expect them to be at the bottom of the East, like like one of the worst teams in the NBA. Eventually, when they get their guys back, they got too many, like Neesmith, Nemhard, like Siakam. Like, you have too many dudes. They're still going to get to like 30 wins. You know what I mean? Like, they're not going to be one of those 12-win teams or something gross.
No. Because those other guys aren't out for the year.
Yeah, the other guys are pros.
But 1-7 though is still shocking. I thought they'd be a little bit better than that.
Yeah.
But I guess, again, when injuries are injuries, it's tough. They've had some tough losses too. On the other end, Russell just keeps just doing his Russ-like shit, man. If you play him enough minutes with his energy and his overall just involvement in the game, the way he's just always has an impact with his energy. Again, looking for a better word, but that's like when you think of Russ, I just think of energy. A guy who plays effort. He just has his hands on, different plays. I think it's just impressive. A guy who just got a deal, didn't get a contract all summer, didn't want vet minimum, ended up getting vet minimum, was sacked late. Training camp had already started by the time he had got his contract, and then he's out here giving triple doubles. I'm not going to go on a rant about guys who have gotten paid and aren't doing anything like what Russ is doing. I understand how
to think that a guy was this close to not being in the NBA this year, to being able to get triple doubles in a win. And sure, the Warriors didn't have some of their guys, but a triple double in the NBA is a triple double. You know what I mean? So for a guy that you're telling me this guy a couple weeks ago wasn't on an NBA team, but he can get triple doubles in the NBA, it's pretty shocking.
Yeah, but the only thing that's shocking is that it took this much time to get Russ on a team. Russ is a special case because we love him for his character. We love him for being a great teammate, his confidence, his sureness of himself, who he is. He even said last night in the presser, after the game, I'm the best rebounding guard ever. That's valid. So, like, these are things that we all appreciate and love Russ for. We love his effort, and we love how he's just balls to the wall, all out, is going to leave it on the court. With his success, his past, the MVPs, everything that kind of, surrounding him, it comes with a force. It comes with a gravity. And when a team is looking to sign a guy for vet minimum, that guy shouldn't have these things. So they use it against him. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they'll sign some pipsqueak who can barely play, who's the 14th man on the bench, probably shouldn't be in the NBA, but is in the NBA. And this goes back to Jaylen Brown, the Stainer. His comments before the season started, when he was like, the NBA historically has been the best. Let's say there's 400 players in the league. Historically, it's been the best 400 players in the league. I'd say now it's the best 360, 370. There's a good 30, 40 players, meaning 1 to 2 guys per team, maybe 1 per team, if I'm being generous, that should probably not be in the NBA. All right.
And on the flip side of that means there's 40 to 50 guys that aren't in the NBA that
should be. Yeah. So I'm looking at clips of Spencer Dinwiddie playing somewhere in Europe right now. Spencer Dinwiddie's good enough to be on an NBA roster. Now, is he a guy that you have to play? Is he a guy that should be getting minutes? I don't know. It's depending on the team. I could tell you right now, he's better than a lot of guards I could pull from the NBA. Now, why are these guys in the NBA before Spencer? Again, Spencer's been a guy who's been outwardly had comments. He's had teams that hasn't worked out with between him and management or him and a coach. Spencer's a great guy. It's not like he's a troublemaker, but when you're in the league as long as a guy like Spencer or Russell or myself, you're going to have a team, maybe 2, where like things didn't work out great. That follows you. It's a big-ass high school. Perception's everything in our league. So when it comes to us getting later in our careers, where we're not putting the same numbers up where they could deal with it, you know what I mean? Now we're past our prime. We're at the end of our prime. That vet minimum job they're giving is going to go to the 20-year-old who's not going to say shit or do anything, 6'8", has all the potential in the world, probably can't play, probably will never turn out, but there's a possibility. And it's the 14th, 15th spot on the team. Guy's not going to play anyways. Why don't we just take a chance?
Right.
Why would we take a chance on a guy who could possibly have an impact in our locker room, or have a guy who is gravities with him is just the amount of someone that we're not needing for our 14th, 15th guy? These are the reasons why a John Wall or Spencer Dinwiddie or Russell Westbrook, myself, didn't find ourselves on rosters the past couple years. Now I'm retired. I'm done. But if I were still
waiting for the announcement.
I haven't officially retired, but I am retired. I have to give the whole thing. I would do a whole thing at some point this season. I'm going to put something together. If people aren't obviously knowing I'm retired in a suit and watching, commentating the games, and they haven't figured it out already, I'm not coming back.
Well, wasn't Tristan Thompson in the studio and then he went
That's
back?
True. I guess I could just hop back
Pull
out.
Tristan.
Matter of fact, I don't know where I was the other day. I was in Minnesota when I just did the game, and one of the coaches made a joke like, You look like you're in great shape. I was like, yeah, I'm 33, man. I still work out, still play here and there. He was like, you think you just play again? I was like, it's a dangerous thought to keep those things lingering.
Yeah.
Because then hope is dangerous. I let that go a long time ago. And because of that, I think that's helped me progress in this next career. I went from this to that to the point where I have multiple teams, multiple players coming up to me as I'm doing these gigs. Like, damn, bro. You went right into that, man. Like, I'm thinking about, I don't know how much years I got left. I'm not going to tell you names, but there's been plenty of older players that have come up to me like, you think you could help me? Some of these are big time players too. Like, yeah, you think you could help me with like just how to navigate the media space?
And that's when you say, "Did you help me get on a team last year?"
That's what I wanted to be like. You make 20-something, you make $30 million a year, bro. You couldn't have helped me out get on the roster.
Yeah.
Ant did make a joke. Ant came up to me later. Goes, he has something. He goes, man, we need somebody who just continue hitting it, knock threes, play the defense. He goes, AR. All you gotta do is say the word. You know me, I can get you on the team. I was like, if it's that easy, it's gonna make me more mad at you. Where were you 2.5 years ago when I needed you?
Right.
Now it's like I don't even want to play anymore. I like playing my 2 days a week. I like feeling good. I'm not sore. My body works. I get to see my kids. I get to raise my kids. I still get paid a lot to be on TV, and it's a job that I can only increase as I do better and get better. I'm okay where I'm at.
Right.
But this is the reason why the league is the shape to what it is. People will take a low risk, high reward on a 6'7", 6'8". I can't even say the word 6'7" now because it's been ruined by the youth. But still, 6'7", 6'6", 6'8", 6'9" wing who has this high ceiling but probability of not turning out. But he's a 15th guy anyway, so f*** it. Over a sure thing vet who could probably bring a lot to your team.
It's so case by case. Look at the Magic last year with Corey Joseph. I mean, he started for them in the playoffs and was like a real
solid,
stable guy they get trust with the ball. Imagine if that was a 19-year-old kid, like they wouldn't have
had that.
I don't know what would have happened.
Exactly.
So like it's case by case for sure.
It is case by case.
And the Magic's case last year at the end of the year when they were depleted with injuries and Suggs was out. Yeah, I thought Corey Joseph played. He did what he could.
And then think of just what they do culturally. Like the young kid, Queen, or I think his last name's
Derek Queen for
the Pelicans. Had like 12 points, 10 rebounds. Good game for a rookie. DeAndre Jordan was in the locker room like, yo, stand up. Like, it's a big game. Just stand up. Little things.
Yeah.
Like, that's important, bro. And if we would have took a chance on this 7-foot kid out of some country or whatever, or some, whatever, like, that's not happening. That moment doesn't happen. And you could tell by the reaction of Queen. He was like rolling his eyes. He had to get up. Like DeAndre's on him all the time because he's not going to let him slide for all the bullshit that DeAndre did. DeAndre knows from his own mistakes and successes. DeAndre was an all-star. DeAndre's an Olympic gold medal. DeAndre's been on every facet of the league.
And then he backed up Jokic, who's the best center of this generation, too. He's seen it all.
It has been around.
Right.
Was he on the title team? Was he on that championship team?
I don't know why.
I think he was.
We got to look that up.
Regardless, this is a guy who has been through every single facet of the NBA. It offers a valuable support to these young guys. Not to mention, when need, like you said, Corey Joseph, those guys can play. Those guys can. I don't even know if he's on a team this year.
No.
So that's the point. Like, these guys can help somebody out.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, Joe Ingles didn't play a minute the other night in Brooklyn for the Timberwolves. He sat, brother, and he didn't sit down like he was going to get in. The way he was sitting and first off, my seat's to the right. I'm next to the trainer. Joe saw how we were having fun over there. Joe went and left the bench, ended up sitting behind the bench, behind the head coaches, legs like this. He's sitting like this, just talking to me during timeout. Saying, "This is the thing, we got to." And I'm just sitting here like, this guy's not going to play a minute, and it doesn't matter because the entire game, every timeout, he's up clapping, he's up talking. He would get in people's ears. The guys who weren't moving the ball. One time, Rudy had a couple turnovers in a row. Literally, he's been with Rudy for so long. I forget they're in Utah.
Yeah.
He goes, Rudy, catch. I can't even say it, but he's like, Rudy, catch the fucking ball. He goes, catch the fucking ball. You got 3 turnovers already. And Rudy just shook his head. The next one, Rudy caught like one-handed and dunked it. I'm not saying it's because of Joe, but it's like that's the impact a guy like Joe has. Joe's been in the NBA. He's been in mad playoff games. He's played for a very long time. Again, he's seen every single different level of the league. This is a guy who can help a lot of their players. It doesn't matter if he's playing or not. If you're not going to play the 15th guy anyways, why not use it for a vet who can actually do something? We have a lot of guys out the league. I'm not talking about myself or people like, he's trying to get back. I'm done. It's not about me. There are a lot of guys who should be in the NBA who are not in the NBA. Jaylen Brown is right. And we have gone so fast forward with this youth 6'8" potential dog. I'm okay with 80% of your roster being potential, but damn, the whole roster
isn't that why they have the G League too?
Yeah, the center of the G League.
Yeah.
What happened to like the best and professional? I thought it's called professional NBA athlete, professional athlete. What happened to getting the best versions of those? Why is Corey Joseph not on a roster?
I saw a play too with Joe Ingles where this went viral online where I think Naz Reid got into foul trouble and he sat on the bench pouting, and then Joe Ingles went and sat next to him and made him laugh like off rip, and it's like his whole energy changed. So it was like, that's kind of kept him in the game.
Bro, that's the type of humility that like only a vet would have, because someone at Naz's position, his age, ain't going to support him because he's going to be like, hey, man, Naz over there melting down. It's my time. I'm about to get in the game. Joel ain't thinking about his time.
Yeah.
He's already had his time. Hey, listen, when y'all need me and call my name, I'll be ready to go in there and play. If I don't play these next 50 games, I'm going to sit here and make sure every single guy who's getting ready to play has their best chance.
Kind of like almost another coach.
It is what it is.
Yeah,
that's why Garrett Temple's like still in there.
Yeah.
He's like not just a player. He's a player coach. If people made fun of Udonis Haslem for years. Man, this guy's been wasting away in the Miami bench. No, bro, like there was a reason why he was on that bench.
Yeah, he's talking to players and those things that the coaching staff probably doesn't even know about.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? 'Cause
and there's that fine line that they have to know things they report back to the coaches and things they don't. They know what to say and not say because they've been in the NBA for that long. They know.
Yeah.
So, like, there's like a good 15 to 20 guys that if I really wanted to just start wrapping off, should be in the NBA. Although I'm done, I should be in there. You just can't name 400 players better than me. It's impossible. I can't give you 100, 150 better than me. But that's the way the NBA has kind of gone the past couple of years. I didn't fight it. I said, okay, I love this media thing. I'm going to the next thing. And it's worked out. It's been building. There's a lot of guys who don't have that media bug or don't have the media skills or have other skills in life that's kind of hard to navigate. And you got these guys sitting at home. These are dudes that should be in the NBA. So it's tough, man. We got these rosters like that. I see Detroit and what their team is a little bit different this year. And even the Magic, some of these guys are a little bit different this year. Like some of these teams need these vet presence. And so it's important. I think the NBA is a game of copycat. And all it's going to take is more teams kind of throwing those deals to get a vet or two to where hopefully the NBA can, for instance, the early 90s and 2000s, it was mad old. Now the league is mad young. I do think eventually we'll get to some middle ground here.
Could you imagine playing? Could you imagine if you're in the 90s? Like right now, there's a team that's bad, let's say I'm going to use the Wizards, and that's like a team that's in the bottom of the league. They're usually really young. Could you imagine in the 90s playing a team bottom of the league, but they're all like in their 30s, probably pissed, rugged? Imagine playing a team in the 90s that's like bottom of the conference, but they're all like grown men.
Jaded old men.
Just grown men, just pissed.
That is the one caveat. Yeah. When we see some of these young teams who are like really bad, they're like still out there playing really hard.
They're trying to learn. They're running on the fly.
Yeah, they're like happy to be out there. Like I just called it a Nets game. It was if Cam Thomas didn't have the ball, it was like what's gonna happen?
Yeah,
this possession. It's a rough team. I feel bad for Jordy because he's actually like a talented young coach. I had him in Denver. He was the head defensive coach at that time. Talented coach. Coaches the the Canadian team, head coach of that. Clearly there's a talent behind him. There's nothing he could do. Like he's over there putting schemes. There's a couple X's and O's like out of timeouts he drew up. I'm like, man, it's a hell of a play. Just wasn't executed right. These guys are, I'm just like, again, I'm not coming at, I'm not going to say names, right? But like 50%, 50 of that Brooklyn roster is questionable, dog. I'm just gonna call it for what it is.
Yeah, but they wouldn't benefit off having, I guess, a bunch of other vets on them.
Nah,
I guess they're trying to lose.
They did last year. They had Finney Smith and Schroeder. You know what happened? They accidentally started winning.
That's what. So the Jazz. We talk about Will Hardy. He's a good coach, but he's kind of like he has to lose, right? They were up against the Pistons yesterday in the first half. I think they got like a call. Then the Pistons go on a run and win the game. They were like, "Yo, what's going on?" Like Lauri Markkanen's averaging like 34. We gotta trade this guy tonight. He could actually be good on a really good team. Lauri Markkanen,
he is talented. He's kind of just in Utah, just chilling out there. And everybody's like, "Well, we're getting Cooper. He's our white hope." Nah, not happening.